What's up, good people? Stacy, what's up, Stacy? Shout out to my sponsors, Arrowhead Water, speaking into existence. I'm letting the people tune in. What's up with y'all, man? What's that? Octopus? What's up, Octopus? Snagglepuss. I ain't seen Snagglepuss so long. What's up with your baby boy? I ain't seen you in forever, man. Happy New Year to you, Snagglepuss. Glad to see you still standing strong, my brother. My boy, Snagglepuss. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend, man. We had Monday off, man. Happy birthday to the man himself, Martin Luther King. No, sure. We had Presidential Day off for the people who unemployed. You already off, so you ain't worried about it. But the people who had jobs had Presidential Day off on Monday. Also, let's take time out and let's say Happy Valentine's Day to all the beautiful ladies in the world, all the beautiful moms and mothers and aunties and big sisters and daughters and wives and girlfriends and side chicks. Happy Valentine's Day to all of y'all. On behalf of Bathroom Talk, episode 16, talk show with Memphis Will, happy Valentine's Day to you. Letting the people tune in, man. While the people tuning in, I'm going to give y'all, we'll just go over a few things while we're giving people a chance to tune in on Facebook and Instagram. I'm excited, bro. Hopefully everybody had an amazing weekend, amazing extra day off. As y'all know, Bathroom Talk has just been pushed to one day out the week. Tonight is episode 16, so if you missed the first 15 episodes of Valentine Talk with Memphis Will, you can go to my Facebook and Instagram. You can rewatch them all. Pella, what's up? What's up, Pella? Pella checking in. What's up, Pella Parker? You guys who missed Valentine Talk, the first 15 episodes, each episode we come up with a subject and we just let the spirit guide me and we take over. So hopefully you can be inspired by that. Just take time out to go to my Facebook page on the Memphis Will, go to my Instagram page at the Memphis Will, or go to my YouTube page at Memphis Will, and you can catch all 15 episodes of Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, tonight being episode 16. Also, each and every Wednesday, you know I do Storytime by the Fireplace with Memphis Will. Tomorrow night we'll be on our 6th episode, so I'm excited. That's each and every Wednesday. So Bathroom Talk is officially once a week, and Storytime by the Fireplace was always once a week. So each and every Tuesday, you got Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Each and every Wednesday, you got Storytime by the Fireplace with Memphis Will, 7 o'clock Pacific time. And usually on Wednesday, I bring in different celebrity guests, and we share motivational stories, testimony stories, funny stories, sad stories, anything to have you inspired and motivated and feeling good about yourself and prepared to move forward, because that's what both shows is pretty much all about. Bathroom Talk, God bless me with the subject that we're going to discuss right before I go live, and then the spirit takes over, and hopefully you guys can be inspired by it. But I'm excited about the subject tonight, man. I'm very excited about it. But before I jump into episode 16, let me take time out to get a shout out to my sponsors for sponsoring both television shows. Shout out to my sponsor for sponsoring Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, as well as Storytime by the Fireplace. Shout out to Arrowhead Waters, my sponsors. Speaking them into existence. That's that positive forward thinking, putting it into action, speaking into existence. My platform's real fast, guys. For some of y'all who don't last the whole video, because you know when the spirit take over, we just let it ride. We don't put no time limit up. Sometimes it go to hours, sometimes it be 30, 45 minutes. We don't know what the spirit do. But for the people who not with us at that time, let me go ahead and give you the platforms now. I only request 2. I would like you to do all of the platforms that I'm about to give you, But I mainly request two, and the main two that I request is subscribe to my YouTube page under Memphis Will, because when you subscribe to my YouTube page, you help my sponsors want to sponsor the show. So subscribe to my YouTube page, which is just Memphis Will. That's it. Go to YouTube, subscribe to Memphis Will, and click notifications so when I post a video, you can see the video. That's simple. So subscribe to my YouTube page, Memphis Will, and click on notification. So when that happens, boom, you can catch my video. Or these are the two things I want you to do. Subscribe to my YouTube page, and I want you to follow my Instagram, which is at the Memphis Will. That's TheMemphisWill. So that's at the Memphis Will on Instagram. So do those two things at the end of this video. Make sure you do those two things. Subscribe to my YouTube page, which is just Memphis Will, and follow my Instagram, which is at the Memphis Will. TheMemphisWill. Now, with that being said, here go all my platforms so you can have them for yourself. My YouTube, my Facebook, and my TikTok. They are all under Memphis Will. Let me say it again. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all under Memphis Will. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow my Facebook and TikTok, all under Memphis Will. My Instagram or Twitter is the Memphis Will. That's the TheMemphisWill. That's at the Memphis Will. With that being said, baby, let's kick it off. Each and every Tuesday, Thursday, you can catch Memphis Will Bathroom Talk. You can catch Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will each and every Tuesday. You can catch Storytime by the Fireplace each and every Wednesday with Memphis Will. Both shows, 7 o'clock Pacific time on Instagram and Facebook. Now I'm excited. I'm excited about episode 16. But before we jump into it, let's give some shout outs to the people that's rolling in on my Instagram. We got Kelly checking in. What's up with you, Kelly? Thanks for joining. We got Deja. What's up, Deja? We got Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? Appreciate you checking in. Still letting the people roll in from Facebook. We're going to jump into it while Facebook's just coming along with it. Derek, what up with you, Derek? That's actually my little cousin. What up, D? Checking in with you, man. Can't wait to see you, bro. When you come to California, Derek, come and visit your big cousin, man. You ain't came to see me yet, bro. We are twin from Memphis. Man, I know who you is. You my little cousin. He talk about twin from Memphis, Derek. I know who you is, bro. You family, man. When you come to see your big cousin in California, bro. Come on, check your big cousin out in Cali, bro. Just book your flight. I got everything else, bro. Before we jump into the episodes, episode 16, man, let me say this here to y'all. Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll be there this weekend. So check me out at Las Vegas, Nevada. Check my social media platforms for the flyer, but I'm coming this weekend, performing this Sunday, February the 21st. Dallas, Texas, March 20th, man. I'm coming your way. March 20th will be my first time actually in Texas. Come March 20th, I'll put that flyer up actually next week. So just continue to stay tuned with that. Arizona, May 1st. I'm coming to Phoenix, Arizona. I'll be up your way. So y'all get ready for that. ATL, filming a movie at the end of this month. I'm only there for 3 days, so my role in the movie ain't that big. But I appreciated what they give me. All right, what's there? Yeah, you were a blessing to us in high school. Yeah. Y'all was a blessing to me, man. Derek and Eric. They're my two little cousins, man. We crank it up at Chickasaw. You know what I mean? Those was like, I instantly became attached to the twins at Chickasaw because I never had no little brothers. And so when we was going to University of Memphis summer camp, I met Derek and Eric, and they pretty much just became my adopted little brothers, man. They always been family to me. I think I was in the 9th, they was in the 7th. And they just basically was my little brothers, man. We the best lip singing group you can ever match. Which I'm bringing that back, Derek, when I come to Memphis. So get ready. When I come to Memphis, we doing about 10 lip sing songs. I'm putting the group back together. I'm putting the band back together. Me, you, your brother, Jonathan Lee, and Toby. We putting the group back together, baby. We was the best lip singers in town, baby. We putting the group back together. So get ready, Derek. We putting that back together. Because I'm thinking about doing a show at Chickasaw. Put that jump together at Chickasaw, come out and perform, boom, surprise the people with the lip singing, bring Tue Bogart and Pegas back, who can sing for real, while we do all the lip singing. All right. With all that being said, man, let's get ready to jump into, remember, if you missed the first 15 episodes, Go to my Facebook or Instagram and you can watch each episode of Bathroom Talk, which is 15 episodes. If you miss Storytime by the Fireplace, which is tomorrow, make 6 or 7 episodes, can't remember. But the first 5 or 6 episodes from Storytime by the Fireplace, both is up on Instagram and Facebook. So make sure you go watch that. With Storytime at the Fireplace, I had special guests like Joe Torre, I had Scruncho, I had Tori Hart, Dorcia Brunson. So I had a bunch of special guests for that show. So make sure you go check out that show. Anyway, let's get ready to jump into it right after we thank our sponsors. Arrowhead Water, thank you for sponsoring Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, Storytime at the Fireplace. Got to speak it to exist. Got to call my cousin, Derek and Eric, and let them write up my contract. But I forgot which one I'm a lawyer. I think Eric is a lawyer. Derek is, I don't know. Which one of y'all a lawyer, Derek? I forgot. It's Derek or Eric. One of them is in Atlanta and is a lawyer. But I like that program they started about helping kids go from high school to college, making that transition. So I like that program y'all started. We're going to help promote that. So make sure y'all stay on top of that, twins. I'm going to get behind that and help promote that. Now, with that being said, man, I'm so excited. My boy Scruncho just checked in. What up with your Scruncho? Be looking out for Scruncho special. He got a special coming out produced by Ice Cube. Gonna be one of the top comedy specials in the country. I can tell you that right now. Easy call. It's gonna be the top 5 once that special come out. So he's really putting in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears getting that special ready for you guys. Now, with that being said, man, let's move forward. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, episode 16. Man, how dope is that? Episode 16, man. We had 16 episodes in less than 3 weeks. And this week we officially moved down to 1 episode. So tonight's subject for episode 16, Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, is start practicing your best you. Let me say that again. Tonight's subject is start practicing your best you. And a lot of y'all might say, well, what is that? Well, here's this. Every human being has your best side of you, which is your good qualities that people are attracted to and people attach themselves to. Your good qualities is what you like about yourself. Your good qualities is what other people like about you. Your good qualities is what your attraction is. It's like your law in the universe. It's what draws people to you and want to be in your space. It's what make that job want to hire. It's what make that casting director want to cast you. It's what make that woman want to marry you. What's make that husband want to marry you, want to date you. It all comes down to your good qualities, because we naturally are good at our good qualities. So our good qualities is never up for question, because our good qualities is like our second nature. We don't even have to think twice to present our good qualities, because we do that naturally. So we know that like the back of our hand. We know what's good about us. But here's the thing. It's the bad qualities about us that we don't want to acknowledge. It's the bad qualities about us that make people move away from us. It's the bad qualities that causes that woman want to divorce you, cause that man want to divorce you, cause your friends not to want to talk to you again, cause that casting director not to want to cast you, cause that producer not to want to work with you, that actor not to want to work with you, that friend not to want to work with you, not even want to be around you, not even want to hang around you. It's your bad qualities. And here's the thing with bad qualities. No one likes to hold ourselves accountable for our own bad qualities. As a matter of fact, we get so defensive that when someone tried to give us positive criticism about our bad qualities, so we can practice at it to become better at it. Nobody said it's going to change overnight. The key word is start practicing, which is why tonight's subject is start practicing your best you. So you have to put effort into being the best. You can be, everybody want to say, oh, I'm living my best life. But if you're not practicing being the best you, how are you living your best life? If you're not practicing being the best you, you can have millions of dollars and be financially stable. But if you're not being the best you, you may be very well living living your best life. But if you're not practicing being the best you, that means you have no foundation. That means you have no mental stability. It's one thing to have financial stability. It's another thing to have mental stability, because when you got mental stability, you got spiritual stability. And when you got spiritual stability, that means you don't base your life off of ownership of materialistic things. Let me say that again, because somebody missed that. When you have mental stability, you have spiritual stability. And when you have spiritual stability, I'm twisting up my words. When you got mentally stability, you have spiritual stability. And when you have spiritual stability, you no longer base your life off of what material possessions you own or you have. Because what happens is, some people think, as long as my bank account is an overflow, as long as I don't have no financial problems, they say to themselves, I'm living my best life. But since they have no spiritual stability, they not happy. So therefore, they still are chasing. And what they in is they basically chasing their tail. This is all a chaser doing. When a person not happy or satisfied, this is all they doing. This is all you're doing. You're taking your life and you're running in circles. Yeah, you got a check here, but you still ain't got no stability spiritually. So you can't take your mindset and settle down and really receive the pure spirituality blessing that God has for you. Because the only way you can truly receive the pure spiritual blessing that God has for you, you do not base it on materialistic things or ownership of what you have. Having your big house does not mean you're living your best life. It's so many people in Beverly Hills and Calabasas living in these big, huge houses and more debt than you are. And so many people drive Rolls Royces and convertible Bentleys and more debt than you are. More depressed and stressed out than you are. But you're on the outside looking in and you have a perception of thinking their life is beautiful and they're living their best life because they got this big old house in Calabasas. Well, that house in Calabasas can be a storm on the inside. They can be in debt on the inside. The wife and husband can be domestic violence on each other on the inside. But since you're on the outside looking in, your perspective is they having a wonderful, beautiful life. But then now you can take these homeless couple that's sleeping on the street in the box and got a beautiful life going. Because they're not fighting and having domestic violence inside their box. They're praying together. They eating dinner together. And you wonder, well, how is it that this couple can be homeless, living in the box, and they got more peace than this couple living in a 10-bedroom house in Beverly Hills? I tell you why. It's simple. Spiritual stability. Because the homeless couple know where all their blessings come from. And they give all their glory to the Most High, which is to God. But the couples in Calabasas actually think they the ones who went and got their house in Calabasas, as in God didn't play a part in assisting them in receiving that blessing. Therefore, they're not even giving God the glory for that house in Calabasas. Now, I'm not saying you have to be in poverty in order to have a spiritual stability. Not by no means, because the best thing is having a spiritual stability, whether you in a house in Calabasas or whether you in your box. That is the whole point. You do not base spiritual stability based around what you have. So stop crediting your possessions as in what you're worshiping. Stop crediting your possessions as in how you determine how you're going to treat the next person. See, a person that lives in Beverly Hills is going to treat another person living in Beverly Hills with respect. But the person who living in Beverly Hills is going to see somebody in the box and treat them different, going to treat them beneath them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just because of the way they live in, because they have no spiritual stability. Because a person with a spiritual stability will know that I'm going to respect the person that lives next door to me in Beverly Hills, and I'm going to respect that homeless person that sleep on the ground because I have a spiritual stability. It's called treat others how you want to be treated. And so where am I going with this? Let's circle this thing right back to the subject in hand. Practice your best you. And a lot of people seem to practice their best them when they have other people watching them, when they have other people observing them. They call that, ladies and gentlemen, acting, because now you're pretending to practice the best you to impress other people. The key is, when do you practice being the best you when ain't nobody looking? Because when ain't nobody looking, that is the real you. Let me say that again. It's easy to practice being the best you when everybody is looking. That's not a test. The test is, can you practice being the best you when nobody is looking? See, in other words, if God bless you to go feed a homeless family, guess what? You don't have to pull out the tape recorder and record yourself feeding this homeless family. You don't have to post on social media and Instagram you fed this homeless family. You don't have to want the world to know the donation that you did to help this family. You don't have to do that. You can do that within secret. But see, what happens is when everybody got those eyes watching them and everybody observing them, now they practicing being the best them. But they actually pretending because that's the representative that they are being versus being themselves. So when you catch somebody that's practicing, just like when you meet new people, what's the first thing we say? Am I meeting the real you or am I meeting your representative? Because your representative is putting your best foot forward. But if that's not naturally you, then eventually in time your best foot will fall off and get stepped on because you've been pretending to be something that you're not to that woman or to that man. And as long as you're pretending, that is not nothing you can sustain and keep up. So now a person that fell in love with you to the person that you presented. And then in time, they fall out of love with you and you wonder why. Because you're no longer the person that they fell in love with. They fell in love with the person you presented. They fell in love with the person you pretended to be. And in that relationship, as y'all build rapport, your real self came out. And when your real self came out, they realized this is not the person that I fell in love with. This is not the person that I like a lot. And I say that to say, if you practice being the best you, just like Denzel Washington would say, I said this before, if you practice bad habits, you become good at it. Let me say that again. If you practice bad habits, you become good at it. So if you're always lying to people, you're going to become a good liar. If you're always manipulating people, you're going to become a good manipulator. If you're always not on time and not prompt, you're going to always be late. If you always talk behind your friend's back, you're going to become good at talking behind your friend's back. You're going to become so good at it that I don't even know you're talking behind their back. And those are just bad habits. You can break those bad habits. A lot of people like to think that just because they've been doing a habit so long, it's called a habit for a reason. A habit can be broken. A habit is like a small semi-addiction. A habit can be broken. So just because you've been late all your life does not mean you have to continue to be late. But we get caught up into the mindset of, well, I'm always late. So since I'm always late, that is my reputation. Everybody knows that I'm always late. And so now I'm going to live up to my name or I'm going to continue to be late. Well, no, that's you. Develop a bad habit. You practice that bad habit. Now you became good at that bad habit. So what you have to do is you got to do a light switch. And it's not going to change overnight. Like if you want to stop cussing, you have to practice that. You just can't say I'm done cussing. You have to practice replacing your cuss words with other words. You know, instead of saying mother effer, you might start off with mother sucker. Then it may just go to mother. Then it may just go to nothing at all. It might just go to mama. See what I'm saying? You might start off with blank you bitch. But then now you may change it to blank you itch. Then you may change it to blank you nothing. In other words, whatever you practice, That's what you become good at. So start practicing being the best you. And that doesn't mean something that you're naturally good at already, which is your good habits. And people be like, oh, I'm practicing these good habits. No, that's something you're already good at. And that's something that you continue to do to be the best you. But I'm challenging you guys to start practicing on your bad habits. Because once you start practicing on your bad habits, once your bad habits get into the positive, what that make you? Then you would officially be being the best you. And that way you go from being to best you, because being the best you is more important than I'm living my best life. Let me say that again. Being the best you is more important than living my best life. And let me explain that to you, because a lot of you might think, well, what's the difference between being the best you and living my best life? Well, here's the difference. If you're not being it's a lot of people who are living their best life financially, but they're not being the best them. A lot of people are making money illegally, living their best life. A lot of people are destroying, let's just use drug dealers, for example. You can take some heavy, big-time drug dealers that's living their best life. But in order for them to live that best life, they're selling drugs to the community. They're killing our next generations. They're killing our parents. They're killing our kids. And they like to justify themselves by saying, well, if I don't sell it to them, somebody else will sell it to them. You know, that's their justification. Well, they want to continue to put drugs into the community, put poison to the community, continue to kill people, and live their best life. Because they got the best car, they got the best house. So that is the difference between being the best you and living your best life. Because once you can be the best you and live your best life, that's ultimate. That's the ultimate joy. But it starts with being the best you. Because as long as you can be the best you, that's really all you can do is be the best you. And when you can be the best you, you open up the doors for God to rain down blessings on you, because you are practicing being the best you. You are maintaining your good habits, and you are practicing on your bad habits so you can get your bad habits back into the positive. It's just like an overdrawn account. If you constantly swipe a card that doesn't have any money in it and the bank is paying for it, your account becomes negative. You have money in the bank, but it's negative money. And the minute you deposit money, that money automatically goes toward the money that's in the negative first before you get back to the positive. Well, your bad habits is the same thing. You've been cashing in bad habits. You've been cashing in bad habits, and now your bad habits is in the negative. So now, how do you get your bad habits into the positive? You have to start practicing on your bad habits. Because each bad habit that you can reverse and get it into the positive is your spirit coming out the negative and getting back into the positive. And as long as you are practicing being the best you, then you can sustain any materialistic blessing that comes along. Whether you have a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, a big house, or if you don't have a car, you're on a bus, and you're sleeping in the street. As long as you practice in being the best you, ultimately, that is your best life. So stop allowing materialistic things to make you think you're living your best life. No, you just enjoying a bunch of materialistic things. That's all you're doing. And guess what? Eventually, you're going to get tired of driving new Ferraris and Rolls Royces. In other words, you're not going to have that same excitement on the 10th Ferrari that you had on your first Ferrari. And what that tells you, that means materialistic things, the feeling of it eventually start declining. Let me say that again. Anything that you get a lot of and too much of, eventually the feeling to it starts to decline. Not your wife or a relationship, because that's like wine, that's get better with time. So I'm only simply talking about materialistic things. So if I buy everybody on Facebook a Ferrari right now, you're going to be so excited. so excited. Some of you never had a car like that. And you're going to be so excited. But guess what? Next year I'll buy you another Ferrari. Next year I'll buy you another Ferrari. Next year I'll buy you another Ferrari. And it doesn't make no difference who you are. Whether you're homeless or whether you're a billionaire. If I continue to buy you brand new Ferraris each week for an entire year, I'll buy you a brand new Ferrari each week for an entire year. Guess what? You're no longer going to have that exciting feeling you had for when I gave you your first Ferrari. You know why? Because a Ferrari have become normal to you now. It's normalized to you now. You're used to having it now. You got a driveway full of Ferraris. You went from not wanting nobody to drive your Ferraris to let your friends drive your Ferrari. Keep it over the weekend because that materialistic thing has declined to you. It has declined. So you no longer have that same value for it. Just like, remember when we was in elementary school, we brought a brand new pair of shoes, and we didn't want nobody to touch it. People used to fight when somebody stepped on your shoes, especially in a nightclub. It have been people who got shot and killed over stepping on somebody's shoe. Take that thumb and clean that shoe off. 6 months to a year later, you cutting grass in them same shoes. You done bent the shoe down and made it a flip-flop. You understand what I'm saying? But that same shoe, we would lose our mind when somebody stepped on it. We take them off at night. We wash them up and put them back in the box and want them to keep them brand new. But that same pair of shoes, you cutting grass in them next year. What that means, that's because that new shoe declined to you. It declined. So what I'm trying to get you guys to see is materialistic things, once you get used to it, it start to decline. Once you get used to the houses, it declines. Once you get used to traveling on all the best vacations the world has to offer, it declines. Once you get used to the new shoes and the new car, it declines. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm only talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about for these people who worship materialistic things. I never said it wasn't okay to have a Ferrari. I never said it wasn't okay to have a house and big houses and mansions. I never said it wasn't okay to be a multi-millionaire. All y'all can strive to be that millionaire. Strive to be that millionaire. Strive to have a house. Strive to provide for your family. I encourage that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that's materialistic. So if you worship the materialistic things, or if your materialistic things causing you to practice bad habits by putting other people down or making people feel beneath you because they don't have the materialistic things that you can have, that just simply means, ultimately, you're not happy. You got all these houses and you got all these cars, and yet your life is running in circles like this. Running in circles. Running in circles. You know why your life is running in circles? Because you thought the joy was into the materialistic thing that you had. But now that you done got used to it, you done had it a while, and it declined. If you don't believe me, start talking to some of your millionaire friends. I got a couple of celebrity friends. Let's get them on the line so they can tell y'all, hey guys, living in this big house is dope. Living in this big house is cool, but it don't give me the same amount of joy that it gave me when I first moved in. Hey guys, I'm driving this Rolls Royce. It feel good to let the top back, let the wind hit my face, and the whole 9 yards. But the materialistic thing is not the ultimate joy. The ultimate joy is God himself. So once you connect with him and you have that relationship with him, then he can take your spirit. And once your spirit becomes stability, see, the key is get your spirit to a stability place. And once you get your spirit to a stability place, that means you're no longer giving your glory to the materialistic things. Now you're enjoying the materialistic things. Now I can smile at these big old houses in Calabasas and Beverly Hills, jump at my Ferrari, jump at my Bentley, because you know what? My glory don't go to the Bentley. My glory don't go to the Ferrari. My glory don't go to the houses in Beverly Hills. If they take those cars and they take my houses, I'm still yelling, hallelujah, God. They're like, wait a minute, we done repoed this guy house, we done repoed this guy cars. How is he still smiling? I don't understand that. How do he still have a smile on his face? Because my spirit has stability. And I know where my blessings come from. And anything you took, I can get it back. Any house you took, I can get several houses back. Any car you took, I can get several cars back. So it ain't about the materialistic things, because I can get that 20, 100 times over, because God can give it to me. I can go live in a box. I can go live in a storage unit, and guess what? I'm still going to give God the glory, because my spirit has stability. And you may ask yourself, well, how can I give my spirit stability? Easy. Start practicing being the best you. Because when you start practicing being your best you, when you start practicing being your best you, that is when you ultimately live your best life. Because living your best life is not based around materialistic things. Living your best life is having a spirit that has stability, which means the way you think is so left field to other people that may financially stable that they think you're on another whole planet, but all the time you just simply have your spirit has stability. And your spirit having stability simply means if you had a box, you grateful. If you had a big old house in the hills, you grateful. And the same way you treat your neighbor in Beverly Hills is the same way you treat a homeless man. You treat them with respect. And you're not looking down on them. And you're not trying to make them feel beneath you. And that's when your spirit has stability. And that's when you're being the best you. That's when you're practicing being the best you. Be the best you. Because when you are the best you, no materialistic thing is your foundation. No materialistic thing can bring you the joy, that eternal joy versus that temporary joy. And let me explain something to you people. When you're practicing being the best you, and God bless your spirit to have stability, let me explain something to you. That's unconditional joy. That don't decline. That feeling don't decline. Because now you done went from getting yourself houses to God put you in a position to give other people houses. Now you done went from having one box to fixing up boxes for other people. I use two different examples. I used a homeless man that got a good box and a good tent, and he built another box and a good tent for the next man to have. I got a man in a house in Beverly Hills, and he helped his friend get a house in Beverly Hills. Either way, when your spirit has stability and you're practicing being the best you, it's a joy that you can't even describe, and it's a joy that don't decline. See, the house joy decline. The cars decline. Having all the money in the world decline. But what don't decline is the joy that God give you. And there's nothing more joyful than to be in position to be a blessing to others. I'm going to say that again. It's people that be a blessing to others that is not even in position to do so, more than people who are actually in position to do so. And the people who are not in position to be a blessing to people are being a blessing to people without throwing it in their face. That means they did it pure from the heart and gave God the glory. But you got other people being a blessing to people and reminding them every single day the blessing that they did for them. Don't forget I gave you this. Don't forget I did this to you. Well, that's not a blessing. That's a curse. That person get ready to stress you out. And guess what? That's not a mean person. That's just individuals who have adapted their lifestyles to bad habits. Because once again, when you practice bad habits, you become good at it. Whatever you put your energy to, whatever you practice on, that's what you're going to become good at. So if you keep on lying, you're going to continue to become a best liar. You continue to cheat, you're going to be a good cheater. You continue to manipulate people, you're going to continue to manipulate people. You continue to talk behind people's back, you're going to become good at these things. So break that cycle right now. Break that cycle. Start writing down all the habits that you know is negative that you want to change. And the first thing to breaking bad habits is acknowledging them. You talk about people behind their back sometimes. You don't like that about you. You tell other people business. You don't like that about you. You're never on time at the job. You don't like that about you. You never help homeless people that's in need. You don't like that about you. You naturally find yourself judging people, situations and scenarios, and you don't like that about you. You don't pay your bills on time. You don't like that about you. You don't even seek for a job or look for a job. Lay up on the couch all day and depending on the system to take care of you. Depending on the baby daddy to take care of you. When you just as healthy as he is. And both of y'all should be getting up going to work. If you don't like these things about you, then you have to start practicing good habits. So write down a list of all your good characteristics that you like about yourself. These are things that are good habits that you naturally do. And it's ultimately is what attract other people towards you for your good characteristics. But I want you to take another page and I want you to write down your negative characteristics. And if you don't know your negative characteristics, call your friends. They'll be glad to tell you. A lot of y'all don't know your bad habits. Call your friend, call your husband, call your boyfriend, call your girlfriend. They'll be glad. Matter of fact, if that don't work, call your enemy. They'll be glad to tell you, yeah, let me tell you what you do with your bad habit. But remember what I said, people. Don't accept everybody positive criticism. You only accept people positive criticism for the people who take time out to give you positive feedback, for people who praise you or compliment you. Those are the only people you accept positive criticism from. You do not accept positive criticism from somebody that don't compliment you on a regular basis. Somebody that don't say something to encourage or uplift you on a regular basis. Somebody who tell you you smell good and you look good and they like this about you and they like this about you. If they want to give you a positive criticism, then you can receive that. You can receive that. But for the people who don't never compliment you, but have the audacity to try to come up at you at the job or the church or an event or a restaurant and try to give you a positive critique, no, I don't need your positive critique because especially if you know me, because if you know me, you have never told me good job about nothing. So therefore, I'm not going to allow you to tell me bad job. Now, if somebody who have told me good job and they decide they want to give me a positive critique, I'm all ears. I can listen. And I want to take the positive from it instead of getting on your defensive side. Listen to what they got to say because what they're saying can very well help you if you apply it to your life. Especially if they take time out to compliment you and tell you good job. People who take time out to tell you, man, you did an excellent job. Man, you look good today. Man, you smell good today. Then it's okay for those people to give you a positive criticism because it's possible they're coming from a positive place and they mean well by you and they want to see you do better. They want to see you turn your bad habits into good habits. But if you're dealing with an individual who don't compliment you, who don't tell you good job or want to turn around and give you a positive criticism, man, go, oh, don't listen to them at all. Say, when you take time out to tell me good job, then I'll take time out to listen to you critique me when you feel like I'm not doing a good job. Because that happens in a lot of relationships and marriage. You got to be careful with that. A lot of them, they break up with that. You know, I dated a person that would tell me all my negatives, but would never tell me my positives. You understand what I'm saying? It's draining energy. So if you're dealing with somebody, I don't care if it's a friend, a relationship, or marriage, if you're dealing with somebody who want to acknowledge all your flaws, but don't never want to acknowledge your strengths, get away from them. Shake them out your life, man. Because I want people who are acknowledging my good habits and helping me with my bad habits. That's all I want around me. Acknowledge my good habits and help me work on my bad habits. But if all you got coming out your mouth is acknowledging my bad habits and never acknowledging my good habits, I don't need to talk to you. You know, you've been at work on time for 4 months every day, and nobody came and told you, man, good job. You know, you've been working on time and da-da-da-da-da. But then now you show up late 1 second, and they spend the rest of the year. You remember you came late back from work to lunch. What? You gonna set it in front of the supervisor? That's them little dry snitching haters. I call them dry snitches. You come in a little bit late from lunch and they act like they don't know what they doing. Stand right in front of the supervisor and say, you just getting back? And you looking around like, whoa, you gonna set it in front of the supervisor? See, that's them little sneaky friends. You gotta watch them. They call dry snitchers. Try to act like they naive. Oh, I didn't know supervisor was there. Oh, I wasn't saying it like that, girl. Yes, you was. That's exactly why you said it. You said, I'm just getting back so the supervisor can look at our watch and know that I'm late. That's why you said it. You understand what I'm saying? So take that with you. And remember, don't wait on other people to correct you on your bad habits. The way the universe works, if you start with self, and if you can start with changing self within, then you can change the universe. But you have to start with self. So never start with pointing the fingers at somebody and never start with waiting on somebody to point the fingers at you. You have to always look in that mirror and start with self. One of my favorite songs ever wrote was a Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Yeah, that's one of my favorite jams right there because it starts with self. The message is just beyond powerful and the song is just amazing. So I actually want to do a whole project with that song because that's how inspiring that song is. But always start with the person in the mirror. Start with the person in the mirror, because guess what? If you can take time out to write down your good qualities, take time out to write down your bad qualities. And here's what happened, people. Let me tell you what a blessing is. Your good qualities is something you're already good at. Your good qualities is what draws people to you, what makes people want to be around you, what makes people want to work with you, what makes people want to hire you, why people call you a friend is your good qualities. But the challenge is write down all your negative qualities. And when you write down all your negative qualities, just because you've been doing something a long time does not mean you have to continue to do it. So many people get caught up into that trap. Like people try to stop smoking cigarettes. First thing they say is, well, I've been smoking all this time and I ain't got lung cancer. And then people like to say, bad habits and addiction. People like to say, well, you got to die from some one day. That's people go-to line. Hey, man, once you stop smoking them cigarettes, you got to die from some one day. That's just an excuse to continue to practice the bad habit that became an addiction. And remember, whatever you practice, you become good at. And whatever you become good at, eventually become an addiction. So start reversing that. Just because you've been a cheater in every relationship, does not mean you continue to have to be a cheater. Just because you spend most of your life manipulating guys and guys manipulating women, that don't mean you have to continue that cycle. Just because you've been lying all your life. My daddy was a liar. My mama was a liar. My grandma was a liar. Lying runs in the blood. If I stop lying, I'm going to be cursed. So I got to keep lying to keep the tradition going. That actually was hilarious. I got to put that in my show. You ever met a liar that feel like if he stopped lying, his life going to be cursed? Because his great-great-grandmama used to lie. And it runs in the bloodline, and it's his responsibility to keep the tradition going and teach his kids how to lie. Well, that's what happens, people. And I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too. Because sometimes I be lying about some stuff that be unnecessary lies. I'm just really joking around and playing, but I'm lying at the end of the day. And I've done it so long that I become good at it. And people can believe what I'm saying when I'm lying about something that's really ain't nothing to do with nothing. Just lying. You see what I'm saying? But I have to switch that. I have to change that bad habit to a positive. Because right now that habit is in the negative. And just because it's been in the negative all these years doesn't mean you have to stay in the negative. Your bank account do not stay in the negative. If you take time out, take a little bit out your check, and you put a little bit back in there. If you got a negative $20 in the bank, you might not have a whole 20 to put the 20 there and put yourself back in the positive. But you may have 50 cents. Here go 50 cents. Now you're at 19.50. Here go another 50. Now you're at 19. Now you're at 18. Now you're at 17. Eventually, that negative bank account becomes back in the positive. And that's how you have to treat all your negative habits. That's how you have to treat all your bad qualities about yourself. All your bad qualities about yourself, you practice it. Now it's a habit. Now you have become good at it. So now you have to unpractice it. You have to reverse it. Now you have to practice making that same bad quality that has become a bad habit into a positive. And when you do that, little at a time, your behavior of something that you used to doing that is now is a habit, it's not going to change overnight, guys. It's not going to change over the weekend. So don't think because I use exercise, for example, so you can get it. Let's just say a man is 300 pounds, or a woman is 300 pounds, and they start off with 10 jumping jacks, and 10 push-ups, and 10 laps. Okay. Well, they're out of 300 pounds that you have practiced all that bad eating, the way your body is built, whatever your body mass, whatever the case may be. My point is, if you do 10 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, and 10 laps 5 days that week, your 300 pounds not going to go from 300 to 200. You understand what I'm saying? It may go from 300 to 299, but you took a step toward the positive way. But then, let's say they do that successfully for about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. They have exercise every single day. They went from 300 to 295. But the weight is not coming off as fast as they desire. So what do? Go right back to that bad habit and say, screw it, man. I tried. I only lost 5 pounds. I ain't going to worry about it. I'm just going to be big. And they done gave up. Now they went from 300 to 305. They put themselves further in the negative than they were when they started. So my point is, that's that mindset of accepting a bad habit, of accepting a bad quality about yourself. You do not have to accept bad qualities about yourself. You do not have to accept a bad habit just because you've been practicing that bad habit for many, many years. You can start right now tonight with yourself and changing your bad qualities into good qualities so those same bad habits become good habits. And guess what? It took discipline to develop your bad habits. It took discipline. You had to have the discipline to continue to eat even when you weren't hungry to gain too much weight. That took discipline. You had to eat. It took discipline to gospel behind your friend's back. You had to call somebody and talk about your friend behind your back. You had to answer somebody else's call to talk about somebody behind their back. That took discipline for you to do. So now use that same discipline to reverse it. Use that same discipline to, man, I'm not going to call nobody because if I call this person, I'm going to end up talking about that person. Man, I ain't going to answer this person's phone call because this person ain't going to do nothing. Finna call me to talk about the situation or what happened, then we're going to both end up bad-mouthing a person. See, what I tell people who call the gospel about other people, I tell them no disrespect, but I don't care to hear it. And some of them get mad at me just because I refuse to hear them talk about somebody else. And the reason why I refuse to hear them talk about somebody else because they will hang up the phone, call that same person, and tell that same person everything that you said, and even the stuff they said, they're going to say you said. That's always going to happen. Somebody going to call you to badmouth somebody, listen to you badmouth them back, then they're going to hang you up, call that same friend, and tell that same friend everything they said, they're going to say you said. Then they're going to tell them everything you said. And now you got this person mad at you all because you entertain someone calling your phone to listen to them talk about other people. So when people call you to talk about other people, start telling them no disrespect. But I don't care to hear it. Because once it get, and if a real friend, real people, a grown woman and a grown man, they can respect a person that when they call to talk about somebody, they can respect that if a person say, hey, no disrespect, man, but I don't care to hear it. So the person that you feel like you want to gospel about, here's their number, call them. Or better yet, let me call them on three-way. Because I'm neutral friends with both of y'all. But see, a real one going to say, you know what, man, I appreciate how you handled it. You handled it in a mature way. So we could all maintain friends instead of playing that neutral friend and gossip behind each other back. But somebody that's not a real friend, somebody that's not solid, they're going to get upset with you just because you don't want to hear their negative energy. You know how many comedians call me to gossip about another comedian, I say no disrespect, but I don't care to hear, and they get upset with me? Now they mad at me and the person they called to talk about. All because I said, I don't care to hear it. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to, what's up with your tangerine checking in? So you have to understand, guys, start practicing being your best you. Start practicing being your best you. And remember, being your best you is not just displaying your strong characteristics about yourself. It's not just displaying good habits that you already do. That is not a challenge. That's something you naturally do because it's part of your personality. And that's what draws people to you. But you want to write down all your negative qualities. You want to write down those negative qualities that have become bad habits. And just like I say, when your bank account is in the negative, look at that like your bad habits is in the negative. But if you take time out, if you're negative $20, put $1 in there. It's going to go to 19. Put $1 in there. It's going to go to 18. In time, every penny that you put towards your account in the negative, your account eventually get back to the positive. It's the same thing with bad habit, guys. Every bad habit you correct, that bad habit not going to happen overnight. But if you keep practicing at it, you keep practicing making that bad habit become a good habit. You keep practicing discipline to make that bad habit become a good habit. And guess what? That bad habit is slowly going from negative to positive. And finally, you have officially mastered a negative bad habit and turned it into a positive good habit, good quality. And then guess what happens then? That quality that you have turned into a good habit now gets put on the good part about you list. Now I get put on, this is one of his good traits. This is one of his good characteristics. This is one of his good habits. But it always wasn't a good habit. It always wasn't a good trait. It always one of my good qualities. It used to be in the negative. But I practice it, getting better at it. And I practice daily at it, correcting this bad habit, And eventually, the more I practice, the more that thing get on to the positive. And now all of a sudden it's a good trait. Now more people want to attract themselves with me because I got more good qualities than I have negative. I have more good habits than I have bad habits. Now a woman ready to be my wife because she's excited about my characteristics. She's excited about how I treat people with respect, no matter whether they got millions of dollars or whether they don't have any money. A woman is highly attracted to a man with $1 million. But she's definitely highly attractive to a man with $1 million that treat everybody with respect, whether they homeless or talking to another millionaire friend. That's what's going to ultimately be the joy. What woman not attracted to a man with $1 million? What man not attracted to a woman with $1 million? But eventually that attraction decline because it's materialistic. So if you want something to sustain, you have to go on the inside of it. And when you get on the inside of it, guess what? It's more couples in love than there are millionaires that's in love. More regular average 9 to 5 couples are in love than millionaires. You understand what I'm saying? Because of that inner joy. That inner joy comes with what, guys? We already went over this. That inner joy comes with when the spirit has stability. And how do the spirit have stability? Practicing being your best you. And in practicing being your best you mean not only work with your good habits, but start practicing on your bad habits. Not only acknowledging your good qualities, but start acknowledging your negative qualities. And take that with you. Thank you for tuning in to Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will, episode 16. Remember, you can catch me each and every Tuesday and Wednesday. Each and every Tuesday and Wednesday. This Tuesday, Bathroom Talk each and every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Story time by the fireplace with Memphis Will each and every Wednesday. So you can catch me live on Facebook and Instagram, 7 o'clock Pacific time, every Tuesday and Wednesday. Facebook live and Instagram live. So this is all I ask that you guys do, man. I ask that you go subscribe to my YouTube page under Memphis Will. And remember, guys, Facebook, my TikTok, and my YouTube. They're all under Memphis Will. Go to my YouTube, subscribe to Memphis Will, and make sure you hit the notification so you can get the video because I post all the videos. And I also post comedy videos too. So subscribe to my YouTube page under Memphis Will. And that's under YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube page under Memphis Will. Hit the notification button so you can get my videos. And then also follow my Facebook and follow my TikTok. And follow my Instagram or Twitter at The Memphis Will. Both of them is the same name. It's still Memphis Will. You just put THE in front of it. That's The Memphis Will. So again, guys, thank y'all for tuning in to episode 16 of Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will. Start practicing your best you. And if you're just tuning in, go back and watch this video, man. Hopefully you'll be inspired by it. Shout out to my sponsors, Arrowhead. Thank you, Arrowhead, for checking in and sponsoring both shows, Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will and Story Time by the Fireplace. Everybody know how I close out all my shows. I close it out with positive energy only, man. High vibration, positive energy. Show me who your friends are, and I know who you get ready to be. Show me who your friends are, and I know who you get ready to be. What am I saying? Start surrounding yourself with positive people. How do you surround yourself with positive people? By start being positive yourself. Because you know what? Negative attract negative. Positive attract positive. So don't wait on somebody else to be positive. Start being positive yourself. And when you start being positive yourself, you will naturally attract positive other people. And stop thinking your mentors and people you look up to, you do not need their approval. I want to say that again because I'm going to talk about that tomorrow on Story Time by the Fireplace. Your mentors and all these people you look up to, you do not need their approval. because they like to judge you according to where you used to be at in life and where they don't think you can go in life. All because they think they have the privilege of that simply because you looked up to them, simply because you thought they was a mentor, simply because you thought they was a big brother. But some people are your mentor and your big brother for the wrong reasons. Because they have more than you, or they feel better than you, and they feel that you beneath them. But a mentor is supposed to be somebody that speak positivity into your life and speak positive about you and want to see you surpass them, want to see you become the best you can be. That's what a real mentor is. But a mentor who put a cap on you, we talked about that. See, you got mentors today, they like to put a cap on you. And as long as your blessings stay within that bottle, they fine because they got that cap on you. But see, when you take the cap off and your blessings start pouring out, they can't take it. That's the part they can't take. It just shows they weren't really your mentor, your real big brother. They just somebody trying to put a cap on your dreams, trying to put a cap on your vision, trying to put a cap on your gifts, trying to put a cap on your talent. I'll talk to them. I'm talking about something else right now. Look at the spirit. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow on Storytime by the Fireplace. Thanks for tuning in to episode 16 of Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will. Remember, practice being your best you. And that simply means acknowledging your good habits, but practicing on your bad habits. Acknowledging your good characteristics, but practicing on your negative characteristics. So make sure you practice being the best you, because once you practice being your best you automatically living your best life. Because at this point, you're giving God the glory and not glorifying materialistic things. You now officially understand if you live in a house on the hills, if you're in a box on Figueroa, you know that glory be to God because you are being the best you simply because you are practicing being your best you. High vibration, positive energy. Hold up your right hand, everybody. This is how I close out all my shows. Ladies and gentlemen on Facebook and Instagram, please remember this. You can watch any of these videos, rewatch them on Instagram, rewatch them on Facebook. But please remember this if you remember absolutely nothing else. Life is a gift. Life is a gift from God. So make sure you utilize each and every day of your life. Don't take one breath for granted. God bless you. I love you. Enjoy your life loving and smiling and laughing, despite what people say about you or think about you, because they don't matter anyway. I love you. God bless you. High vibration. Peace out. He said Facebook up first, Instagram. Then I'm going to go back and read y'all comments. Post now. Never delete. Boom. Okay, that's Facebook. Get a little bit of that sweat off. Get a chance to read some of y'all comments. Instagram. Tangerine checked in. Hilarious. Valentine talk. I love it. Heaven, hi, handsome. Got to get back to her. Okay, Tangerine. Let me get back. Go back and read some people's comments. My boy Stacy. Boom. Snagger Post, boom. Kira, what up? What's your fan? Deja checked in. My little cousin Derek checked in. Thank all y'all so much, man. Thank all y'all for checking in, man. Thank all y'all for checking in. Thank y'all so much, Instagram. High vibration, positive energy. Peace out.